Konnichiwa minasan, genki desu ka? Welcome to my channel, and in this video we are going to continue our series where we are learning the basic Japanese particles. Okay, so if you are a particle phobic person, let me tell you that this video is going to help you a lot. You learn the particles in very shortest time possible. Okay, so I'm going to revise. I would prefer that you watch my previous video where I have covered the first 5 important particles, and now I'm just going to give you a rough summary of what we did. So the particle wa, which marks the topic, so it will be following the word which is the topic of the sentence. Watashi wa, which means I am the topic of the sentence. So o is the particle which marks the object. So whenever you see the particle o, the word coming before o is the object of the sentence. Okay, it is going to receive the action. The particle ga is the subject of existence marker. Now if a thing exists, that thing is ought to be marked by the particle ga. Okay, and it is also used for things that you understand or things that you comprehend. So if you understand a language, that language is going to be marked by the particle ga. So if I want to say I understand English, iego ga wakarimasu, iego ga wakarimasu. So I marked iego with the particle ga because I understand that thing. Now the particle to is actually a quotation marker as well, but as I said, this is a detailed explanation needed topic, so I'm going to make a detailed video on this if you want me, so you can request me in the comment box and accordingly I will make or I won't make. Okay, so the main function is with or to express togetherness. So if I say you do something with somebody, that somebody is going to be followed by to. So if you say I play with my cat, as you see over here, so you say neko to asobimasu, neko to asobimasu. Now why neko is followed by to is because you are playing with the cat. So if you are playing with the dog, just replace the neko with inu. So inu to asobimasu. Okay, so if you want to say that you with the teacher, you want to say with the teacher, you say sensei to, sensei to. If you want to say with a friend, you say tomodachi to. With the mother, haha to. With father, chichi to. So this is how we say that person plus to. Now ni is another particle which is very important in Japanese, and as you see, the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th 4 columns are just full of ni. So ni has many functions, but these are the 4 main functions in Japanese which you need to know. Okay, so first function is the particle ni with functioning as to mark the destination or to mark your goal. Now if you see that, if I say that I'm going to a place, okay, my destination is the place, right? So you are going to mark that place with the particle ni. Now I've written this particle in the bracket because these are optional. You can use ni or you can use e. Now this, you must be saying that you've learned hiragana, so you know that this is he, not e. But as I said with the particle wa, that in hiragana it is spelled as ha, but when you use it as a particle, it becomes wa. Similarly, in hiragana, this is spelled as he, but when you use it as a particle, it becomes e. So keep that in mind, okay? Don't mispronounce it as he. So that is a huge mistake. Don't do that. So if you want to mark the destination, your place where you are going, you're going to mark that place with the particle ni. So I hope you're understanding what I'm saying. So you will understand it better with an example. So if I say I go to school, you'll say gakkou ni ikimasu. Gakkou ni ikimasu. So gakkou is school, and since school is where I'm going, ikimasu, I'm going to mark it with the particle ni. Now you can also use the particle e. So gakkou e ikimasu. I personally prefer ni, but you can use e. And you must know both because some people may use e, so you should not get confused at that time. Okay, so if you want to say that I go to home, you say uchi ni ikimasu. Uchi ni ikimasu. Uchi is home, ni is your destination marking particle, since your home is your destination. Okay, so you must have understood that this particle ni is usually supported by the word ikimasu. Okay, so whenever you are going, you have a destination when you are going. Okay, so at that time, that destination is ought to be marked by the particle ni or the particle e. Now the second function of the particle ni is the person being met. Person being met. So if you are meeting somebody, that person is going to be marked with the particle ni. So here, the sentence over here is I will meet my friend tomorrow. I will meet my friend tomorrow. So as you know, Japanese has no future tense. Okay, it is just from the context of your sentence that it is understood whether it is present or whether it is future tense. Okay, so here I've used the word tomorrow, so it will indicate that it's a future tense. So ashita, tomodachi ni aimasu. Ashita, tomodachi ni aimasu. Ashita is tomorrow. Tomodachi means friend, and this a ni, which looks like a knee, the body part, is a person being met, marking particle. Okay, so whenever you meet somebody, that somebody is marked by the particle ni, and aimasu is to meet. Okay, so the next function of the particle ni is the absolute time marker. Absolute time marker. So absolute time, what is absolute time? For example, if you want to mark some o'clock, if you want to mark some day of the week, if you want to mark some holiday, at that time you are going to mark that day or that o'clock or that time or that holiday with the particle ni. Okay, so the example is I wake up at 6 every morning. Okay, I wake up at 6 every morning. So it's going to be Maiasa 6時に起きます. Maiasa 6時に起きます. So Maiasa is every morning. Mai stands for every and asa is your morning. And 6 in Japanese is roku, and G stands for hour. Okay, 6 hour or 6 o'clock. Okay, ni is, as I said, whenever you're marking some o'clock, a day of a week, or some holiday, you're going to mark it with the particle ni. So I said I wake up at 6 morning, at 6 in morning. So this 6 is going to be marked by the particle ni, and okimasu is to wake up. Okay, so if you want to say that I wake up at 7, just to change this 6 with the part 7. Okay, so it will be like you are going to again omit the watashi wa part. Okay, if you want to say for your comfort, it's okay. Okay, so it's going to be watashi wa maiasa 7時に起きます. Watashi wa maiasa 7時に起きます. Okay, so if you look at the second example, it is why don't we meet up on Friday? Okay, this is the literal meaning of why don't we meet on Friday, but it actually means that would you like to meet me on Friday? Okay, so if you want to say this in Japanese, you will say 金曜日に, which means Friday, 会いませんか? Ka is a question marking particle, as I said. So if you're asking a question, we're going to use this ka at the end. Okay, the question mark over here is used in the context of this ka. So 金曜日に会いませんか? Wouldn't you like to meet me on Friday? Or would you like to meet me on Friday? Okay, so moving forward, again a function of the particle ni. It marks the place of existence. Place of existence. Do not get confused with the subject of existence and place of existence. The subject of existence is marked by the particle ga. Neko ga arimasu. Remember this example every time. And the place of existence is marked by the particle ni. So if there is a place that is existing, you are going to mark that place with the particle ni. So if you take a look at the example, it is Nihon ni Disneyland ga arimasu. So it is Disneyland. So Disneyland is existing, so it is the subject of existence, and therefore I marked Disneyland with the particle ga. But over here, if you see, it is where does the Disneyland exist? So it is in Japan. In Japan. So this Japan is the place of existence, and Disneyland is the subject of existence. So if you are understanding, just let me know that you can make your own sentence and put it in the comment box. So if you want to say in USA there is Disneyland, actually this is wrong. Okay, so for instance, imaginary, if you want to say this, how would you say? アメリカにディズニーランドがあります。Okay? So, actually, let's make the sentence quite sensible because there is no Disneyland in America. So let us say there is no Disneyland in America, or Disneyland doesn't exist in America. So it will say America ni Disneyland ga arimasen. America ni Disneyland ga arimasen. Okay. So this marks the place of existence. Ni also marks the person being met. It marks the absolute time marker, and it also marks the destination. These are the power functions. Remember this. Okay. If you want to say, oh, there is Yuko sensei over there. Okay. So how would you say that? Okay, I'm Risa. Well, this is a random name. So if you want to say, oh, you're an exclamation. Okay, you are in a exclamation. Oh, she's over there. Okay. So how would you say that? Oh, there is Yuko sensei. Over there, over there. How would you say that in Japanese? So in Japanese, it is asoko ni Yuko sensei ga imasu yo. Okay, so since this is a sentence where you are kind of emphasizing that she's over there, you are going to use yo. So I'll tell you how this particle yo matters, but for now, just remember it is for emphasis. It is for emphasis. Okay. So don't use it when you are in some formal occasion. Just use it informally. Okay, it looks better when informal. So I'll repeat it again. Asoko ni Yuko sensei ga arimasu. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. It's not arimasu, it's imasu. Imasu. Now why imasu is, I already explained that imasu is used for the living beings. So Yuko sensei is not a statue. She is a living being. So you're going to use imasu, not arimasu. Okay? So, yeah, asoko means over there, over there. Okay. Moving forward, the particle number 12. Okay, the particle de. This particle de marks the place of action. The place of action. Okay. So if you want to say that I eat dinner at home, the home is where your action of eating is being carried out, right? So that home is going to be marked by the particle de. So how do you say that? In Japanese, I always or normally eat dinner at home is itsumo uchi de bangohan no tabemasu. Okay. Itsumo means always or normally. Uchi, as I said, is home. And since uchi is where your action is carried out, you would mark with it with the particle de. So uchi de bangohan means dinner, o is the object marking particle, and tabemasu. Okay, so let's move on to the second function of this particle de, which is tool or means. Okay, by means of. Okay, so if you want to say I went using taxi. Okay, taxi is your means of going, right? So you will mark the word taxi with the particle de. Okay, and if you want to say with the bullet train, you will say shinkansen de. Okay, if you want to say with the train, only train, you will say densha de. If you want to say with or by means of a bus, you would say basu de. So the rest of the sentence formation depends upon you. You came by bus, you went by bus, or you did anything else with the bus. So that, if you want to translate into English, will mean by means of. So I went by means of Shinkansen, I went by means of Densha, I went by means of taxi, I went by means of bus. Okay, so this is how you can frame your sentences. Okay, so it can also be used to say not only the vehicle but also some language. So if you are speaking by means of a language, that particular language is going to be marked by the particle de. So if you want to say my father sometimes speaks Japanese, okay, it's over here. My father sometimes speaks Japanese. How do you say it in Japanese? So did you guess how to say that? Okay, so it is chichi wa tokidoki nihongo de hanashimasu. Chichi wa tokidoki nihongo de hanashimasu. So chichi is father, your own father, and tokidoki is sometimes. Okay, sometimes. Nihongo is Japanese. De is by means of Japanese. Hanashimasu is to speak. So my father speaks by means of Japanese. Okay, but my father sometimes speaks by means of Japanese. So if you want to say I went to Osaka by bullet train, okay, Osaka is my hometown. So if you want to say I went to Osaka using or by means of Shinkansen, that is bullet train, how would you say that? Okay, so it is going to be Shinkansen de. Shinkansen de, which is the bullet train. And since you're going by means of Shinkansen, you're going to mark it with the particle de. Okay? Osaka is a place. Osaka. Ni. Now why did I use ni? Because Osaka is your destination. Remember, I have already taught you the particle ni. Okay? And ikimashita, which means went. Okay, ta at the end shows that it's a past tense. Okay, so if you want to say together, I would say Shinkansen de Osaka ni ikimashita. Shinkansen de Osaka ni ikimashita. Okay, so I hope you're getting what I'm saying. So you understood the two function of this, right? First is to mark the place of action, and the second is to mark the tool or by means of. Okay, so we move forward with this. So yes, we have the particle no. Now this no is a possession marker, or you can say it's a noun modifying another noun. Okay, I would say it does both the functions. Okay, but it is considered as one function. Okay, so if you want to say my father's hobby is shogi, shogi is the Japanese chess. Okay, so you would say that my father's hobby is shogi, to play shogi, or it's just shogi, it's one and the same. How would you say that in Japanese? You would say 父の趣味は将棋です。父の趣味は将棋です。So possession is like this is mine, this is mine. So over here, this hobby is whose? It's of the dad, right? So dad's apostrophe s. So this no stands for apostrophe s. So dad's apostrophe s hobby is to play shogi. Okay. So 父の趣味は将棋です。So summer in Japan is hot. Okay. Summer in Japan is hot, isn't it? So it's a question tag, and as I have not explained yet, I will explain you what is the question tag in Japanese. So in Japanese, if you want to say summer in Japanese, if you want to say summer in Japan is hot, isn't it? How would you say? 日本の夏は暑いですね。日本の夏は暑いですね。Okay, so if you want to ask your friend, you're talking about your countries, and then you say that, by the way, 日本の夏は暑いですね。Okay, so like the summer in Japan is hot, isn't it? So isn't it is just one letter in Japanese, which is ne. Ne. Okay, I'm going to explain it further, but just for your understanding, I'm telling. So Nihon is Japan, no is possession, so Japan's apostrophe s, and Natsu is summer, wa is the topic marking particle because summer of Japan is the topic, right? You're talking about the summer of Japan, okay? And Atsui is hot, des means is, and ne means isn't it? Okay, so the summer in Japan is hot, isn't it? Okay, so there are sentence final particles, some sentence final particles which are used at the end of the sentence. And how do you use them? It is used with certain connotations, okay? So let's see. The first is ka, as I've always been telling you. Ka is a question marking particle. It is found at the end of the sentence. It shows that your sentence is not an affirmative sentence. Sorry, it's not just a simple sentence. It's going to be a question, okay? It's going to be a question. So you want to say, excuse me, are you Honda-san? Excuse me, are you Honda-san? How would you say that in Japanese? So it's a question, so you have to add ka at the end, obviously. So you would say, sumimasen, Honda-san desu ka? Sumimasen, Honda-san desu ka? So sumimasen is excuse me, or it can also stand for sorry. But over here, from the context, we understood that it is excuse me. Honda-san, san is, it is used for a little kind of respect or honorificness. So you would say, sumimasen, honda-san desu ka? So I hope you're understanding how to use the particle ka, okay, at the end of the sentence. Okay? So if you want to say, Yuki, do you understand English? Or does Yuki understand English? How would you say? So if you want to say that, Yuki, do you understand English? In a Japanese will be, Yuki-san wa iego ga wakarimasu ka? Yuki-san wa iego ga wakarimasu ka? Yuki-san is Yuki, iego is English. Since it is what you understand, you're going to mark it with the particle ga, as I have explained before. Wakarimasu is to understand, and ka is the question marking particle. Okay, so you have understood this. The next particle is the particle ne. It is also found at the end of the sentence, which is a question tag. Okay, so if you want to say isn't it or right, you are going to mark it with the particle ne at the end of the sentence always. So if you want to say today is beautiful day, or it's good, or if you want to say simply that, aren't you Risa sensei? So you would say, how would you say that in Japanese? Right, it is Risa sensei ne. But where is the des? So are you Risa sensei? This R stands for the des. Okay, so you would say Risa sensei desu ne. This is the correct sentence. But if you just say Risa sensei ne, it is understood by native speakers. Okay, this is just a impolite way of conversation, but if you want to be very precise, you ought to say that this. Okay, this shows your politeness, your preciseness. So if you take this example, today is a beautiful day, or the weather today is good, isn't it? So you would say, 今日はいい天気ですね. Tenki means weather, okay, and I means good, okay. I is good, tenki is your weather, des means is, and ne means isn't it. So isn't it a good weather today? Okay, continuing, we will move on to the particle yo. And as I said, this is used for emphasis. It will be translated as I tell you, or you know, in English. Okay, so if you want to say that she is Risa, you know, she's Risa, you know, or I'm telling you she's Risa. So you would say, what would you say? Tell me in the comment box. Okay, so you would say, Risa sensei desu yo. Risa sensei desu yo. She is teacher Risa. Okay, so you're assuring, or you're putting emphasis that I'm telling you that she's Risa. She's teacher Risa. Okay, so moving forward, we have the particle to, yeah, as well as the particle ka. Okay, but still these three particles will need another video, which will be little big because they do not connect to verbs or adjectives. They are just for nouns. Okay, so I gotta make a different video for these three particles. If you want the link of this PDF material, if you want it, you can let me know in the comment box, and I'll leave the link below. Okay, so please do hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, comment below if you have any doubts. If you want something, if you want to request for some other video, and do share my video with your friends. Okay, so thank you everybody for watching my video. Sayonara. 次のレッスンで会いましょう。ではまた。